And when you talk about being a Christian single, I think you're a Christian single too, right? I'm a Christian single too. I think there's this one aspect. I don't know. It's very sensitive to talk about it, but it's like you don't want to do ministry with an intention of getting someone. But there are other people who have made this mistake, like, or given this bad, image where, oh, this guy's doing ministry because he wants to hang out with the girls. You know what I mean? And because of some people doing that, a lot of people are affected from actually taking any step. You know what I mean? Like sometimes people tell me, oh, you have this ministry, aren't there girls in your ministry contacts and things like that. But for me, one of the things that holds me back is like, we see in the current stage, because of somebody else, people who make that mistake of going in the wrong direction and spoiling the image. You want to play it professional, but at the same time, you need to at some point say that, oh, you know what, I'm also a single waiting for another single, Like, how do you think you, as a Christian single, you're juggling this space?
Yeah, so about dating and being in ministry, right? It's a very, very controversial topic, because if you look at in the Bible doesn't really talk about dating. It talks about only marriage. There's no verse in the Bible where it said Abraham took Sarah on
and date. Okay.
5 years and everything. But of course, when you see it in today's time and age, you want to like spend time with someone, get to know them before getting married. The first thing would be to ask if that is God's will. If that is God's will, you will find that person also. God will even talk to that person. Because today, especially in Iconic Worship is a young youth group, a lot of people go and reveal and tell God told me you're my wife. And, it's caused a lot of mess. So I usually recommend people and tell, if God has told you, keep it to yourself and just pray for that person, and that person, if God will reveal to that person.
Yeah.
That is the first thing. The second thing would be, as leaders, it is important for us to set an example, because whatever we do automatically becomes like, okay, it is allowed. Whatever we do. So I would say, if God has revealed to you that is your wife, and if God has revealed to the wife that is your husband, then keep it under wraps for some time and make it official by getting engaged, and then get married. And not to date for too long, and not to, because that's where all the problems are caused. And once you date somebody and then you break up, and you date someone else, you break up, you date someone else, you break up, your reputation goes down the line. So, I would recommend that, ask God's will if that's a person for you. And if that's a person for you, don't even fret about it. If that person is meant for you, she or he will come, and God will reveal to that person as well. And when God gets you together, see what is the next step immediately. Especially I think, you don't know the right age for marriages, right? I know happily married people at the age of 18. I know happily married people at the age of 40. So you never know what's God's plan. So immediately get married, because if you stay in the dating phase for too long as a leader, and if you're making it very public as leader, tomorrow using your lifestyle as an example, people might do other kinds of nonsense. You might not do nonsense. You might be walking in God's will. You might be walking in Christian life. But then people might use our lifestyle as an example and tell their parents, oh, John Giftah is doing, oh, Vivian is doing, so why can't I do? So that would be my advice for dating.
But I also want to ask more about the aspect of how do you approach with that? In the sense, what I'm saying is, you're talking in terms of like getting into actual dating someone and stuff, right? Like I'm saying, how do you signal to like you're single, or you're waiting for this, or you're praying about this, like in a subtle way, because you're in ministry, or I'm in ministry, where you want to signal like to potential opportunities, like, I'm single, I'm available, but how do you do that without letting go your guard on being professional? At the same time, understanding that you're human,
See, the fact of the matter would be that you can still be, how do I put it? Just like how you spend time. I'm pretty sure the way you talk to your friends in ministry and the way you talk to other people professionally are different. Correct?
Yeah.
Again, I'm not telling one is what do you say,
Less
honorable
closer,
or one is
yeah.
less honorable. It's you're just comfortable more with your friends. So I think when it comes to dating also, with if you know that's the person for you, first I would you would obviously be friends with that person, and I truly believe that with all due respect, with every principle in the Bible, you can still be friendly with them. You can still be yourself with them. Just because you're a man of God doesn't mean that you're just like, okay, hello, praise the Lord, hallelujah, all the time. You don't talk about anything else. Or you open the Bible, it's Adam, Eve, David, Joseph. No, just similar to how you're a Christian friend. You talk about world events. You talk about fun stuff happening around the world. You talk about good food to eat. Sometimes people forget that Christian leaders are still humans.
Yeah, they forget that big time. They forget that a lot.
Yeah, and what was I going to tell? I was going to say something very nice. Forgot the point. Just came to my mind. But yeah, the baseline about us being humans and us having a good time, us having fun, while still upholding by biblical principles is very much possible. It's not like every time you open it just about Bible, blah 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 blah, yada 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 yada. Come on, I would get bored.
Yeah,
I would get bored, right? There are stuff you can talk about, but still upholding Bible values. And one thing I see, which is really really wrong in my aspect, especially in ministry, is when a man of God marries another woman of God, only with the sole reason she would help in the ministry. So stupid.
Yeah.
Let's say you're a preacher. And you're like, okay, if I get a girl who sings,
yeah,
that'd be great. If you're a singer, I can get a girl who plays an instrument. As it's very logical. This is like very transactional.
True.
It's like, okay, I'll have a singer for lifetime. I'll have musician for lifetime in ministry.
I got it.
At the end goal, forget ministry, forget everything. You're a man, she's a woman. Do you really like her as a person?
Yeah.
Do you enjoy spending time with her? Do you like talking to her? Do you like walking with her? That should be the baseline. And upon that, these are the added benefits. If she sings, great, she can help in the ministry. But keeping that as the sole reason why you're getting married, you're sacrificing your personal life.
Yes.
At the end of the day, after all the ministry, after all the halabuza, when you guys get back home, can you talk together? Can you have a 5-minute talk as human beings? Can you make each other laugh? Can you make each other feel safe? Can you make each other feel secure?
Yeah.
Can you make each other feel loud? Can you make each other feel valued? That's the baseline. So if that is not there, you can be a great minister of God. She can be a great minister of God. And when you get together, probably your ministries might look very powerful. Two forces joining together. But at the end of the day, you still have to
You're still broken.
Yeah, you have to go back to your dinner tables and still talk to them as a human.
Yeah.
Do that. So yeah, I think sometimes we Christians forget that.
Yes. Yeah. I think a lot of times, since you were talking about it, like they over spiritualize this whole aspect. God gave me this very powerful revelation from 1 Samuel chapter 16. It talks about a moment when Samuel had to anoint the next king of Israel, and he goes to Jesse's house, and all the sons are lined up except for David. First thing is, he doesn't choose one of the sons of Jesse just because they were the options in front of him, right? Like a lot of times people just look at what are the options and just, okay, choose one of the options. But he was led by the Spirit of God. And the other aspect is that a lot of times people say, there's this verse which says, right, God doesn't look at the outward, he looks at the heart, right? Man looks at the outward. And say they quote that one particular part, and then they say that, you should forget how the person looks, forget about physical attraction, forget about chemistry, and just, if they're serving in ministry, they're into, like they can help you, or they're, on paper, everything looks fine, just go and marry them, right? But then God was like, when you see, Heliab was very attractive, But then that's when God responds with this answer saying, God looks at the inside and not the outside. But if you see the first definition of David, once David comes into the picture, was not that, oh, he was a man after God's own heart. Actually, if you see in the NLT version, it says he was dark and handsome with beautiful eyes. In another translation, it says it was very fine appearance, very attractive. It was talking about his physical appearance. And that's when God was showing that, first thing is you need to wait for your David, the one that God leads you to. And the one that God leads you to is also someone you're going to like. Is also going to be someone you're actually attracted to. It's not like just close your eyes and marry just because they have a good heart. Like Christians have made this whole thing with that per se. And that's, I think, is one of the biggest reasons why there's such a rise in divorce cases. There's all of these things happening, imbalance. And the other reason I told you about why we want to be really careful as leaders is because I don't want to be pessimistic, but I see a lot of ministers, the minute they come and reach higher levels, girls just come out of the, how do I say this? Like, this case happened 25 years ago and, stuff like that they bring out. So there is this thin line where you need to be careful not to give opportunity for something like that to crop up later. But at the same time, you are led by the Spirit. At the same time, you are projecting that you are single and available.
Yeah, that's the right balance.
But it's not easy though.